All right, greetings from Air New Zealand flight from where did I start today? Auckland to Melbourne, and we've actually started our final descent. And I'm being a bad boy, and I'm using an electronic device when I shouldn't be. But anyway, I couldn't pass up the opportunity. So finally, I am going really down under. I've been down under for the last couple months, but you know, Australia is really down under. So I'm going down under to Melbourne, and I'll be arriving here probably in about 15 minutes. And I gotta find my way to Nina's place in Elsternwick or something like that. I gotta take the tram and the bus and the train and all that stuff to find my way. One thing that I'm really looking forward to is I found out that there is Costco in Australia. I mean, can you imagine that? Costco. So I'm going to try to find my way to a Costco, but not until after I have my first flat white. I think the flat whites originated in Melbourne. I could be mistaken, but we'll find out. So anyway, I got to turn off the camera and behave myself here as we begin our descent into Melbourne. All right, so as you can see, I've arrived into Melbourne, and this gentleman standing here behind me is Godwin. Godwin works for a telecom company here in Australia, and it's called Optus, O-P-T-U-S. And from what I understand, it's an okay company. I asked around a few people. You never know with these telecom companies if the coverage is going to be good. But Godwin told me, he said that this is absolutely the best coverage I could expect down under. Right, Godwin? Okay. So Godwin is he's an interesting guy. He's from Atlanta originally. He moved here when he was 8. And as far as options, it's going to work a little bit differently here. I'm going to be paying, Godwin's got me on the $2 a day plan. $2 a day gives me, unlimited calls? Unlimited calls in Australia, and then it gives me 500 megabytes. 500 megabytes. Mom, you might not know how much 500... Yeah, per day. Per day. Mom, you might not know how much 500 megabytes is, but it's a lot. I think it's enough to get the job done. So I'm going to get signed up here, and then I got a ticket to take the shuttle over to the train station, and from the train station I got to take the tram over to Elsternwick. So I'm gonna let Godwin, right, get on with the transaction here. And he was telling me that Elsternwick's actually a pretty good place to stay, right? Some nice beaches and all that stuff. Okay, and he was telling me that there's a lot of action in Melbourne. I don't know what he means by action, but
I didn't say action, but yeah, we can play that.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll play that. Okay, so
why not?
No, he said that Melbourne's a good place to visit, so we'll find out. All right. Okay. All right. So for $18, I'm going to get on this. It's the Sky Bus, and the Sky Bus is going to take me into the train station. So it's $18 one way, $30 return. I just did the $18 because I don't know when I'm going to return. So let's get on the Sky Bus. Alright, so our shuttle ride is underway, and we're about 20 minutes from the train station. And give you an idea as to what it looks like on the highway going from the airport to what I would assume is the Melbourne area. So I'll catch a train, and that'll take me to a area where I'll get off and get a tram, as I understand it. So, beautiful day here. It's about 90 degrees. It's not humid though, so it actually feels rather nice. Okay, there is my first glimpse of the skyline of Melbourne. At least I think that's the skyline of Melbourne. And there's the river that I've read a lot about. And then just if I pan over here, you can see there's a Ferris wheel. Not sure if that's a traveling fair or that's a part of the permanent skyline here in Melbourne. Okay, so I found my way up into the train station. This is called the Southern Cross train station, and I got to go to platform 12 and take the Sandringham train, and I'm going to go one stop and get off. Interesting looking roof that they have here at the train station at Southern Cross here in Melbourne. And then interestingly enough, you know, as I was walking through the train station here, I saw a 7-Eleven sign from back home, and then lo and behold, a Starbucks. So I haven't seen a kangaroo yet, nor have I seen a koala, but I have seen a Starbucks, and so I still have to see the kangaroo, the koala, and of course the Costco. So there's an interesting building right over there. Okay, so here's my train, the Sandringham train, and I guess the way it works is you buy a My Key card or something like that, and you got to top it off, which means funding it. So this train here is going to take me, I think, 1 or 2 stops to Ripanella or something. Okay, so I found my way onto the train, and I'm going to go to there's 2 options that Nina gave me, and I'm going to take option number 2, which is to get off at the Baklava station, and I'm going to get off at that station. And you know, somebody told me that Melbourne has a very European feel, and being on this train right here, I kind of get that sense that it does in fact have a European feel to it. And although this might all be a little bit confusing to me at first, you know, having traveled as I have, I'm sure that probably after a few days, this will all be old hat to me, like it's old hat to everybody you see sitting here. But to me, it's a new adventure. All right, so stepping off the train here at the I think it's Baklava stop, you can see the. Well, it's got character, just like I thought. So this is going to be, well, I don't know if this is my neighborhood, but it'll be close to my neighborhood, I'm sure. I think I have to catch a tram to get over to the place where I'll be spending the next week. So let's go find my accommodations. Okay, this is the scene just off the train station. I'm not sure what street this is, but nonetheless, I thought it'd be interesting just to take a moment and let the camera roll, and you'll get a sight for some of the characters walking up and down the street here. I'm not quite sure that I actually fit in with my my white pants and my I don't know what you call this hat, a cabana hat or something like that. But there's some people enjoying a nice lunch, and then if I actually come back up around here, you can see the overpass has a sculpture of some sort up on it. So let's, there'll be a tram coming along. I got to get a tram, and that'll take me up to where I'm supposed to find my place. All right, so I found my way onto the tram on, I think this is Carlisle Street. I'm going up to a stop which is Lumea, and I feel like I'm back in Europe, I gotta say. It's really an interesting thing. I'm gonna come back down here later, I think, and grab a bite to eat. Melbourne's supposed to have some really incredible restaurants. Of all the places in Australia, I think Melbourne has the best restaurants. This is this right here is called your My Key card. I don't know if it'll focus or not, but it's called the My Key card, and this little device on all the trains and everything, you just kind of touch the card to the panel when you get on and touch the card to the panel when you get off. So it's kind of like touch on, touch off, I think, as I've heard that phrase a few different times. So we should be not too far from my accommodations. I think it's just a short walk after I get off the tram here. All right, and there goes the Yarra trams off on its way. I was talking to a gal on the on the tram, and she said that I can take this tram right on down this street to I think it's called St. Kilda, which is the beach, and real active area. So we're getting closer to my neighborhood, and let's go see if we can't find it. All right, so as I'm walking along trying to find my accommodations for the next week, I thought I'd stop and show you an example of one of the homes here. And it's a seems like a pretty nice neighborhood. Some nice homes in here. I can only guess what the home values are like here in the Melbourne area, but maybe I'll find out as the time down here progresses. And here's another interesting example of a home. It looks like a big water tank or something, and they've got a glass, looks like a glass, opaque glass, I don't know what you call that, on the front of it, and then you can see down. So that's another example of the homes that you'll see here. And then interestingly enough, if I turn around, there is something that is completely a little bit more traditional. So go figure. All right, so I've arrived, and this will be my home for the next 7 nights. And Nina, the host, she is not here, but she left a key for me, and I found my way in. And I'm not going to film the inside of her home, just out of courtesy for her. But as I've come in, I can see that she likes plants. She's got a lot of plants hanging around, and she also is very artistic. So I've seen a lot of indications inside that she is really artistic, and she'll probably be home a little bit later. I'm really anxious to meet her, and the correspondence that we've shared, very interesting lady. So I will show you the room that I'll be staying in, but other than that, I'm going to, out of courtesy to Nina, not show you the rest of the house. All right, so I'm all checked in. This will be my room for the next 7 nights. Looks like a very comfortable bed. And first thing I'm going to do is take a shower and then hook up to the internet and get right to work. So I hope you enjoyed the arrival here in Melbourne. I'm looking forward to a great time here in this incredible city.